Alright, we have a wood gas truck sitting here idling on wood gas. I've just been for a drive with it. It's running good. I've reconfigured this a little bit. This is sort of a halfway installation, and so I just wanted to clarify what's going on here. This is all just plumbing to get from here out to here. Okay, so we start with this, which is, I call it a hat. It goes over the throttle body. Puts the gas into this, which is a Fernco coupling, 3-inch PVC size. That connects it to this collector, which comes from these two throttle bodies. One of them is for the gas line and one's for the air. So we're running off of a single pipe, single gas pipe right now. It's coming up in the back. And then right here, I've just got one of my valves. Okay? So this will run and drive just fine like this. And I have. I just drove it around about 10 miles. No problem. So the only thing I'm going to do right now, I should mention, I've got this throttle tied all the way open. So there's no effect. This throttle is the only one doing the controlling right now. So I have yet to get this linkage working. So I'm going to mess with that later. Right now I'm going to disconnect this guy, and in its place I'm going to put the Automixer. Okay? It's the only thing I'm going to change, and then we'll fire it up and see if it'll run. Okay, welcome back. This is only changed a little bit. I took this valve off. I turned this elbow upwards, and I have uncovered these two holes. I have these holes, which you'll see in a second. The Automixer just sits in place of the other valve, so just right in the end of the pipe. And I gotta hook up some sensor lines. Now this is obviously way too long, but I don't want to cut it because I'm going to be repositioning this later. So this one will be for the air side. I'll just stick it in this hole and hook it onto here. This one will be for the gas side. Again, I'll just hook it onto both ends. Alright, so you can see it took a little bit for the gas to come back. But now, I'll take you a little closer. That valve should be at the same position as the other one was. And we'll see if it doesn't move. Okay, so things are not fine-tuned yet. That's pretty clear to me. We've got a little more work to do ahead, but we'll keep trying. Should try switching these. So the shorter hose is the gas line, and it has a little bit easier time with the suction. This should put a slight bias towards the wood gas side. So it will richen it up a little bit. See? Okay. Give it another shot. Okay, so you can see maybe now the Automixer is working. Things run a little rich right now, so that could all be just depending on which hose is longer. Obviously the air hose is a lot longer right now, so it's more restriction than the gas hose. But we'll have to play with that later. Oddly enough, the gas mixer is opening the air flap slightly when I crack the throttle a bit. I'm not sure why that is. Okay, the wood gas throttle is the controlling throttle now. I've opened the gasoline throttle all the way, and when I flip this throttle, it should accelerate the truck. Okay, so you keep an eye on that gauge and let's see if it moves. Okay, so I'll have to watch the video myself to see whether that worked or not, but in any case, it seems to be running just fine. The Automixer is doing its job. Wood gas is running exactly right. Now, what I'm curious about is, can we do a restart? So I will attempt to do that right now. Perfect. Let's try it again. Seems to be just fine. Now, to be fair, that would have happened at this point in, with a warmed up truck and the proper setting air-fuel ratio. That would have happened on the old system as well. So I won't be able to fully test this out until I get the other parts built. But at least the mixer is set up to crank up properly. Now what I will do, let's try this. If we shut it down and then manually give it the wrong setting, okay, so we'll just say wide open. We'll see how it adjusts to that while I'm cranking, if there's any adjustment or if it just fails. You can watch the movement of the crank arm through the window here. And there it went, right back to where it was supposed to be. Okay, we'll try that one more time. This time I'll close the valve all the way. Okay, so it's all the way closed. And you can watch what happens when I try and crank it up. Opens it right back up again. We're back to a good smooth idle. So it is working. It is setting the valve in the proper place automatically, and I think that's somewhat of a success. So now all I've really got to do is redo the plumbing so that I can shut the hood, and also later on I'll be adding the bellows for the cold starts. Once I have that, this thing will be complete. Then I can drive it down the road. Here's one more thing I've discovered. When I want to do, this will be a warm start, but say I wanted to do a cold startup, this would be how I would do it. So I'll turn the key to accessory positions, which will allow my blowers to run. I've got the pusher blower running. Since let's see if you can see that, the valve, the throttle position is slightly open, just enough so it'll idle well. And so what you're seeing is there's some gas pressure, since the gas is pushing forward. That is making the valve go wide open. And since there's a little bit of gas getting past the throttle into the air mixing box and then going back past the other throttle and back out, it is actually venting out a little bit of gas. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is some gas coming out the top there. You might be able to see that on the camera. I can't tell if you can or not. Anyway, there's a little bit of gas coming out there. So what I would do then, now mine's a little different because I have to have the power on to run the blowers, and when the power goes off they don't come back on again. So I'll just turn the key and crank it up. So I'm going to turn it all the way forward, crank it, and release it. And you can watch what happens. Instantly moves from a wide open position to the proper position for running. The gas was already there, so it was an instant startup. And it's running smoothly. Another cool thing I've figured out is that no matter what position, no matter how much restriction there is on the inlet, the air valve will move to compensate. You can tell there's no change in idle, nothing. It's always perfectly compensating. think we're heading up for a stretch of some bad gas here, so yeah. Since I'd had the truck off for a while, that's where that bad gas came from. But at any rate, that is how I would do a cold startup. Just run the pusher blowers and it will automatically vent the gas and return to the proper position for mixing the air. Pretty cool.